Okay, y'all, before we get started, I want to show you guys something. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? This is my brand new OC, made by my man, once again, Sonic Man. A big shout out to him for making this awesome OC, some more expressions, and not only that, a new profile pic, and a brand new banner. So if you guys want to watch his stuff, go check him out. I'll put a link to his stuff in the description below. So with that said, let's get straight into the video. Over the past few days, I have created a few videos about Tron, and I've live streamed the game Tron Evolution, which is basically the next game that's likely to test my patience, just like Sonic Adventure 2. I'm still trying to get used to the controls. It's just so janky, I can't even move fast enough! And the reason why I'm doing this is in preparation for Tron Ares, giving you a refresher of the entire franchise. Additionally, I reviewed the show, which I consider one of my best videos to date. Tron Uprising was a fantastic show, but my favorite movie of all time in this franchise was Tron Legacy. So Tron Legacy serves either a sequel or a reboot of the 1982 film, a project that took way too long to become a reality or get off the ground. It was directed by Joseph Kosinski, known for his work on Oblivion, Top Gun 2, F1, and soon to be Top Gun 3. Okay, look, I browsed through his filmography. He hasn't been directing all that much. It's nothing too exciting, okay? This film features a really good soundtrack by Daft Punk, which we will discuss later. It premiered in December of 2010. It received mixed reviews, but performed well enough financially to get a third movie, only for it to have it be in development hell for nearly half a decade. I would watch this all the time as a kid, mainly because of its stunning visuals. Kosinski is a visual effects visionary. As someone pointed out in a video I can't seem to remember, but whatever. That's why it stuck with me visually, mainly because he wanted to infuse the grid with neon lights and a nighttime aesthetic. It worked for most people, but we're gonna get to that later as well, so be patient. You know, as someone who's autistic and is drawn to vibrant neon colors, this was an absolute treat for me to watch. This was one of the first sci-fi films I've watched as a 6-year-old boy, not in the theater, but on Blu-ray. And this was my introduction to the franchise. I'm kind of glad I didn't watch the first Tron movie in 2011, because if I did, then I would just fall asleep instantly, because my attention span was so low. Okay, maybe it's still low at this point right now, but hey, whatever. So I want to talk about Tron Legacy because this was my childhood and it just revamped my interest in films forever. Am I gonna make this a retrospective? Probably, because you guys voted my videos to be at least 10 to 14 minutes long, so okay. So let's jump into Tron Legacy. But first, if you guys like my stuff and want to see more of it, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe and turn on notifications. I do live stream sometimes, so if you want to see my live streams, you can go on to twitch.tv/PolariserTV in the link down below. And you can follow me on X/Twitter, which is @rpolarizer right now. Not only that, I just turned on memberships, and that includes video previews, BTS of any video or live stream, and these cool channel badges. Oh, and also there's member shoutouts at the end of every single video. So if you want to join that, then click the join button next to the subscribe button. And with that said, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so not everyone knows what Tron Legacy is, because again, this franchise is very underrated. If you already know what this movie is, you can skip to this timestamp, but if you guys don't know the context, then here it is, so I can be fair to my audience who hasn't seen this movie in a long time. So let's get into it. 20 years after the disappearance of Kevin Flynn, the main character, Sam Flynn, becomes the company's shareholder and is now a delinquent with all the pranks he pulls. Kevin Flynn paged Alan Bradley, so So Sam heads to the arcade, hops onto the grid. Later he finds his dad's clone, Clue, but he encounters his real dad later. His dad has been trapped in the grid for a very, very long time because of Clue's creation of the perfect system. So they go to the club, fight for a bit, fly some jets, leave the grid, and that's it. That's the whole thing. If you guys are mad at me and don't like what I said there, then you can just write your complaints in the comments. Or criticism. Just keep it civil, okay? Okay, if I'm gonna be real honest here, the plot is kind of basic. It's kind of similar to the other movies that were released in the 2010s. Like, the best friend becomes obsessed with power and control, while the other friend sees things more positively. I think that's what it is. It didn't bother me back then. I was just enjoying the movie too much to even think about it. The pacing isn't too bad. It allows us to understand one of the main characters a bit better, but we'll get to that section later. It's not very slow or too fast, it's just the right amount. Anyways, the plot is like the other movies from the late 2000s and the early 2010s, but it's good enough. The plot could be fleshed out a little bit more, but the runtime would probably be 3 hours. Anyways, let's move on to the next section. Okay, so for the characters, I would like to say there's not much to say about them for the most part. Some of them are just there, but most of them are pretty good and... Okay, look. I wrote a whole section about this, I originally did, but I just realized that I just written a bunch of nonsense that made no sense. Let's just speed through this section. So, for Sam Flynn, there's not much to write home about. He's just bland, and that's okay. And for Cora, she's not that fleshed out, but at least add a little bit of a backstory. I think there is one in the game. I haven't played it yet, but I'm getting there. For Kevin Flynn, well, again, there's not much there to write home about. Just written a bunch of nonsense. And for Clue, not much for him either. Yeah. I'm sorry if this is a short-ass section. I'm sorry. It's just, this video is extremely overdue and I want to get it done, so yeah. Anyways, let's just move on to the VFX because I've written some pretty good stuff there. Okay, let me be honest here. Why did I sound like I'm voice cracking every time I'm recording? Okay, let me be honest here. I'm loud, I'm so loud. Okay, let me be honest here. This is probably one of the best looking movies I've ever seen, for the most part. How they did it back in 2010 is insane. The blue neon lights just make this even more appealing. Some of the CGI works well and some of it looks weird. Some of the CGI looks a little weird, but it's still a marvel to look at. And some practical effects look good as well, so yeah. And when I say some of the CGI looks weird, I'm talking about the de-aging technology. Look, even in the bright light, it looks kinda weird.
Where are you now?
That looks really strange. I'm not gonna critique it this much longer because, again, they tried their best, so let's just move on. So, here's a little fun fact I got for y'all. While they were filming this movie, the lights on the actors' suits were practical. Since it wasn't CGI, they used lithium batteries to light up their suits, and they only lasted for 12 minutes. So to save the batteries for the suits, they had to turn off the lights and save the batteries when the camera stops rolling. And when the camera starts rolling, the light suits would automatically turn on. And they cost a lot of money. Yeah, they weren't cheap. But yeah, I have to say that the VFX look amazing. And Hollywood needs to learn a thing or two about how to make their movies not look like complete garbage. It's a little weird with de-aging Jeff Bridges, but it's still awesome to look at. Now, let's get to the next best Why did I sound like I'm from New Zealand for a second there? Now, let's get to the next best thing about this movie. The soundtrack. Okay, this section of the video will probably be shortened, but this video is gonna be fast-paced anyway, so let's get on to it. The thing that shaped this movie forever was the soundtrack. It's one of the best movie scores that I've ever heard in my life. The reason is because of Daft Punk, who made the soundtrack. Dude, this was peak! Since the movie is about computers and technology and stuff, they decided to have the soundtrack be electronic. They added a lot of orchestral elements to it. It wasn't all over the place. The EDM and orchestral stuff had a nice balance to it. Whenever there's a slow scene, it has some soft brass and violins, and sometimes for intense scenes, there are fast violins, synths, and menacing brass hits. Even some arpeggiating like synths as well. I can't play some of it because it's copyrighted, so you'll just imagine it, alright? This soundtrack is probably the reason why I love this movie till this day. The best EDM duo made it. It aligns with the theme of the movie very well, and it just slaps. It wasn't generic like any other movie soundtrack. It's very interesting. Now I think that's it for the soundtrack. Like, this video is already fast-paced enough, so let's move on to the conclusion. Alright, I'm gonna be honest here. This wasn't as long as a video as I wanted it to be, but I still had fun making it. I enjoyed this movie as a kid, and I still enjoy it as I'm pushing 20. It has some problems, like some of the characters are stiff and don't have any traits to explore, the raggedy de-aging CGI, and the plot is just like any other movie from the 2010s, but it's fine. While it has some issues, and it isn't perfect, it still has a lot of good stuff in it. The soundtrack goes really hard, the visuals are amazing, and they still hold up 15 years later. If you like watching movies like that and want to have fun, this film is for you. And after 15 years, we're finally getting a third movie coming this year. So if you guys like to see me continue on the road to Tron Ares and see me continue playing Tron Evolution until I beat it, then hit that like button and punch that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to all so you wouldn't miss a video or a live stream. Oh, and shout out to Corey for being my first channel member. If you guys want to become members and get some of these awesome perks, channel badges, and some cool emojis, click the join button next to the subscribe button. That's gonna do it for this one. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay vibing, y'all.